to the Sly&Wesh podcast. My name is Wesh.
My name is Sly.
And we're back and with new content. So This is a podcast that promotes introspection. We like to encourage people to think about their lives and think about why they are the way they are, why they react to things the way they do, and why your life is like internally and externally.
Yeah. Basically, like how your internal life is connected to the rest of your life.
Wow. In summary.
Yeah. I like to say that, I feel like that affects everything.
It's true.
Yeah, it affects the relationship you have with yourself, affects every other aspect of your life.
Yeah.
So we like to start from scratch. From beneath.
What you can actually control yourself.
Yeah, exactly. So today we have fresh stuffs. I feel like for the last 3 episodes, if you've been watching, I hope you've been watching. If you've not, just go back and watch and subscribe also. Please subscribe to our channel. We're trying to grow our platform, so we really need to see our people.
Yeah.
You know? So if you want to
show up and show out.
Yeah, show up and show out, comment, like, tell us what you think, give us feedback, what you'd like to see different or whatever.
Yeah.
Just
anything you want to share.
Yeah, I feel like we are in that place when we want to talk, eco-interactive. Our platform eco-interactive.
Yeah.
So but today we have other things we want to talk about.
Yeah. So since speaking of things beginning with you, today I think we're going to touch a lot on how to manage emotion and how like when things come up.
Yeah.
Why do they come up and how do you deal with it essentially?
Yeah.
But first I want to hear what's been on your mind lately. What's been bothering you?
I feel like that's a loaded question for me because I feel like this year has been hectic for
H for hectic.
H for hectic, like capital H for hectic, especially for my mental and emotional.
Yeah.
So of course I've had a lot I'm thinking about. But one thing that stands out for me right now, I'll just mention that nime notice ilianza kunisumbua at the beginning of the year is the age thing. So I was very excited to turn 30 last year.
Yeah.
I was very excited to turn 30 last year. I don't know. I felt like I think it's the one event I've looked forward to all my 20s, maybe subconsciously or consciously. And then when iliisha, I felt like shit, now it's 40. Like I feel like
we have skipped a decade.
Yeah, like I feel like I have a serious anxiety, like I might have missed out on the things I wanted to do. And then like I think that thing I feel like right now your prime is your 30s for babes. Umeona babes in their 30s even you wanna prime. Yeah, but growing up we knew our prime is our 20s.
When you're young, we've always been told like when you hit 30 you are an old hag. There's nothing else for you to do in this society. Actually, you can tap out now.
Just go and yourself. You
can even think like you never used to see women over, let's say, like 35. If you remember, like when
unless
you were growing
up,
on TV or like
entertainment.
Mama was serious.
No.
Not in like a tea entertainment or women just existing and having fun. Women beyond that. It's either like young and then your mom.
Yeah.
Like there's no
in
between like career women or just.
Yeah, it was so. I feel like now that I'm there, niko tu zile za maybe my prime days are over, and I'm not saying it like zile za woye.
No, I understand.
I'm just like nimekuwa nikifeel ni kama the things I wanted to do at 20, the dreams I had, I've not actualized them.
Yeah.
And then now it's making me feel like, do I have time?
It's gone. Should I even bother?
Yeah.
Or like, should I be a grown up now and just...
Yeah. Should I let go of those two dreams?
Yeah.
Even at the beginning of the year, I made this resolution that, if you don't know me, I have always wanted to do content like as a thing, like full time, or like be on TV or on in front of a screen talking about things. Maybe basically to make an impact using my voice.
Yeah,
that's what I've always desired.
Yeah.
And then so now nimekuwa nikifeel maybe it's too late for that. Keep in mind I'm doing what I need to do
as we speak. Even as we speak, you are using your voice to your voice. Your voice, even though you're impacting one person, even though you're impacting only me, like that is impacting people.
Yeah. What do you think that is? Is that like kujiekea pressure ama ni age anxiety ya kuage ama nini? Miju imekuwa ikini cripple like seriously.
No, I think ni hiyo hangi from what we were saying, from like what we grew up knowing and what now we've learned in the last decade.
Yeah.
Because now things have changed. the way women are living differently now. Like we have way more choices than parents used to have.
Yeah.
But what we grew up seeing, it's like when people say you parent as the child you were, like when you were 10 years old, it's like we're still stuck there somehow.
Yeah.
So your hangi bado iko.
Yeah,
your age. Because even me, I've been feeling the same thing. I've been just thinking like, man, because I saw that question that what would you tell your 18-year-old self? And I was just like, first of all, that was 12 years ago.
Yeah.
Let's start there.
A child alizaliwa na anaingia teen.
So now I also started thinking about like how I lived my life from when I was 18. Like, so me, definitely mine was chill. It's not that serious.
Okay.
So even me, I've had those feelings of like maybe I missed out. Maybe this, maybe time is up. And I feel like part of it is normal. Because you always have expectations of what you will have done. Because the 30 I thought I would be like is not my current reality.
On the ground, things are different.
Because think about even when you turn like 25.
Yeah.
That's when reality was hitting you. Like, it's good to dream, but
bro,
kwa grao.
No, mimi 25 ilinihit. Niliturn 25 nikaza October. I turned 25 in August, then I gave birth in October. So I feel like I didn't even experience that transition nicely. It was a very loaded transition.
Yeah.
So nimekuwa na hiyo nini for 5 years. Mtoto akigrow and then sai juu she's grown anaingia grade 1 and whatever and then me I'm like,
now you can focus back on yourself. I think it's normal. Because like I feel like, you know, the decades 20, 30, 40 they are big ones. And you hit a big age, you cannot help but start taking stock of your last decade. And you know, like obviously where you are now is a culmination of many things. Things you chose to do, things that happened to you, like Ruto
girl
and his mate, like COVID. There's so many things that have impacted like where we are. But it's so easy to take blame for everything and to forget that in that decade you have actually achieved a lot.
Quite a bit.
Even if you're not seeing the results you wanted to see.
Yeah.
Uko nazo ni juu focus ya chenye ulikuwa unataka kuwa nayo na chenye uko nayo si as much.
And then also seeing people thrive in the thing you wanted to thrive at. I think for me that one inanifanya nisikie ni kama what is it about me, you know, like is it that I will never blah blah blah. So at the beginning of the year I decided if I will not do that
this year I'm out.
I will never pursue that shit ever again. Sasa niko December ndio so, oh my god, at least
you are pursuing it.
I'm pursuing it. I think that's
in its own scale.
I
think that it's the expectations that get us. True. Expecting by 35 nitakuwa hapo na my range and my business and my
should I have a job and I have a business and I have a family?
But then Ruto comes into the picture and he's like, excuse me?
You say
what?
Say passport ni 10,000 kuchukua anything.
Get birth certificate ni $5 million. So uzaliwe ukae na huko ukae in stasis until
I know. Kwanza hiyo watu hii ukizalia UG unajua unalipa 5.
Sikia sasa.
If you have them to be a citizen of, can we not even get
let's not even get into that
because Ruto
the emotions will start emotioning right now.
An episode for that. The new government is
unpacking the government mental health.
And let's unpack anyway. What about you? A dominant thought for you?
A dominant thought for me has been I've been in that again, like this is a year of transition now for me because I turned 30 this year. It's that, you know, when you're doing like reflection and you're like in the path of like learning yourself, you get to, it's like this, you get to the peak and you're like, guys, nimemaliza exam, give me my degree, I go. And then something else happens in your life and now you go back to square one because like it's a process. Sasa niko hapo pale square one pale chini where it's like what is happening, everything I feel like everything in my life is transitioning, my friendships are transitioning, and like where before I could have gotten away with being passive, now I can't. The life even I want to live cannot allow me to be passive in some things. The ones I would usually be okay with being like just, now I can't be about everything.
Kwanza ukisikia the growth years.
It's
building the foundation.
Literally the worst time in the self journey is on this bit. That restlessness of not knowing where you are, like by the way who am I, because it's like I've forgotten. And I know and nasema hivyo sahi I'll get to the peak again, feel like I've achieved na nianze tena
That makes me sick, actually.
It's annoying us. And then I can see it's so easy to just be like, it's a must. So you can just,
give up and be an alcoholic.
By the way, see him to accept.
Yeah.
See him to accept.
Eulogy ishi hapa. I've really been thinking about this statement. Radical acceptance. Yeah, you know when you're going through, like the way you said, you're going through change and whatever. The best thing in Naskiangati, you accept where you are. You accept this is your state of your bank account. This is the state of your body. This is the state of your mind. This is the state of your friendships.
Yeah.
Now decide.
That's the truth.
Itanikowesha who used to live here. Alisamadi hapa. This is you. This is it.
This is it. This is who you actually are.
Yeah.
And it's easy to say radical acceptance until it's time to be radical.
Until it's time to accept. I feel like the last thing we do is accept.
It's the hardest thing to do, and it's the most important one.
Yeah.
Because there's no way you're going to the next step without accepting. But now the struggle for acceptance, that has been accepted the whole year, na bado sijamaliza accept. I'm like, because even you can't accept everything at once, it's too much.
Yeah.
So it's just piecemeal.
Yeah.
So my focus even was just trying to be a little patient with myself.
Okay.
And just first of all accepting that I don't have all the answers. Nico, I'm fighting for my life.
In all the aspects of your transition, which is the one transition like
I think what I thought I would be doing and the life I thought I would be living versus my actual reality.
Yeah.
And I know if I'm being objective, my reality is not a bad one. It's not
pretty good actually.
But
zile tumejiekea
zenye nimejiekea now I'm fighting with that because now there's no way I can now start building on what is actually there if I don't forget what I expected to happen, because that's a pipe dream. I'm already here, shapika. So now, but like every now and then, like I'll have my days. There are days I'm like, okay, this is where I'm at. This is what I need to do, and I'm good. I'll have it for like a week. And then there's other days where I'm like,
like
guys, tap out. Gosh. Anyway, guys, we'd love to hear from you. Like, what has been happening in your lives? Like, what's that thing you've been really the whole year?
I feel like in our generation we really live in our heads. So I feel like it's an easy question to ask yourself. What's been on your mind? What's really like talking kwa kichwa?
And as you are thinking, like, share, subscribe, tell your mother, tell your grandmother
to subscribe. Now my demo will on a trigger, by the
way. Yes, like, share, subscribe. So I feel like I also think about the same thing. But I feel like me, it's also, I don't know. I feel like I'm a different person. Not even where I am in life, but me as a person. I'm not who I've always known myself to be. And usually, and I don't think in the past, I've allowed myself to deviate and be different. You understand what I mean?
Yes.
Like even just as a person, personality-wise, not even like what I'm doing.
Right.
So, maybe a little what I'm doing.
But mostly.
So I feel like now I'm seeing there's now different sides of me which are not meshing with the ones that I have always known about myself. And now I'm just like, am I supposed to marry the two? Am I supposed to like just
let go of the other?
And then now you see I'm also like figuring out like my control issues really run deep.
Because
it's like what is this now? Puja, what is this?
You're meeting yourself like as a new person.
And then I feel like obviously it's what has occurred over the years now has culminated into this person today. Right. So now I'm realizing all that overthinking and trying to manage, and not managing in terms of like healthy managing. For myself, it's managing like in a kaje. Which is like what for who?
For whom?
So now like this year has really been stock take opening. Take stock killer place. So I've been reading about that.
Do you think that's mostly getting like maybe into boarding early? When did you get into boarding school?
When I was 10 years old.
Class 5.
Class 5. And kwanza that school of ours, kama umewahi enda shule ya masista, I think you know. Like it's very, very controlling and very image oriented. Because like if the things we say about that school, and if you had ever visited when we are there, you'd think, what are you talking about? These children are so well behaved. These children perform well. Like even every parent, these kids should come to a school like this. But like, it's because you're being suppressed so much.
Yeah, you've been put in a box and you must fit.
Yeah, and you must, your emotion inabidi.
Crush na umeimaliza.
Na wewe ujue kenye utafanya nayo like.
Yeah. I think to be honest, that's a lot to do with that.
Yeah, so now like even it's like letting it out kidogo. Even simple things as like just being outwardly excited.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you, it used to be managed, and I've never even really thought about it that much.
Yeah.
So now like in the last few years is when I've been really thinking about it, and actually meeting you had a lot to do with that.
Okay.
Because like I feel like you're so unburdened in terms like you'll feel how you're feeling.
Okay.
If right now you're angry at me and you'll start shouting at me, or you'll say, you'll start shouting at me.
Yeah, babe.
But you shout in general.
Yeah.
But you see something like that, I've never seen it. Like everyone around me was so measured and so controlled, like, and the only time I used to see it is maybe at home when maybe my dad is yelling at us.
Yeah.
But maybe even my mom, I never saw it from her. Like, I both think of all the people I know. Actually.
But then even your friends are way
very measured.
Like super babe. Really so of all your friends, by the way, I think Mimi too.
So like from that perspective, it's like now seeing someone like just feeling their emotions openly is like novelty.
Yeah.
It's like hi. Unaweza kuja tu hapa ushout useme like vile like first thought in your head.
Yeah. That's interesting to me.
Like there's a balance. So I'm on one end, one extreme, and then there's people now on the other extreme.
And these people you gravitate towards.
Yeah, look at Zoe. At
exactly.
Molly.
Yeah.
Like very.
Oh, by the way. Yeah.
Exuberant.
Actually, your faves.
But you see, even like even Molly. But even her, she's measured. Like atakuwa.
Ni BG, ni background. It's the background.
It's the BG.
Yeah.
So like all of this stuff, like it's so interesting that even after 30 years later, it's still affecting. Day to day. Literally the way I'm living my life, literally the way I'm seeing myself, literally is things that happened.
So now you find yourself asking, like, am I quiet or am I loud? Am I extroverted or am I introverted?
No, usually I'd be like, maybe if I want to like, I don't even know if I even think about it at this point. At this point, it's more of a reflex.
Okay.
Because like I used to be like you as a child now, very out there, outgoing, shout. I'll go. I had no fear or no nothing.
Yeah.
But then now we were being, as soon as you show anything other than like the standard you're punished for it, or like, so even the kids who are being labeled as the problem kids are probably kids who are just like active, or just like kids. It's not that like they had anything or they're naughty. Are they really naughty though? Like what did they do that was so bad?
Absolutely.
And I thought it's those things now you go, you forget, you think, I've already sorted that out.
Yeah.
I'm over it. But then, again, like grief. Are you 10 years later, something pops up, it's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I've never actually thought about that.
Yeah. Oh my days. I've never even thought that you struggle with that, but now that you mentioned, I'm like, that makes sense. Makes perfect sense.
It's because I've been thinking about it for some years, and then there's a time I remember having a conversation with Molly, and I can't remember what she asked me, but she asked me something about like we were going somewhere and I was telling her I'll be uncomfortable, I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
And then she asked me what goes on in your brain. Then I was explaining to her and she's like, oh my god.
The overthinking.
So I'm telling her like, I don't know, am I supposed to laugh? Am I supposed to do this? What am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to make a joke? Like the overthinking, then it cripples anything, then I end up not saying anything. Then she was like, I didn't know it was like that for you.
That's hectic.
It's like, is it like that for introverts? I'm like, I'm sure it's different for many people because it depends on.
It looks different.
Yeah, it looks. I'm sure if you ask somebody else, there's introverts who I'm sure will say what I'm saying.
Right.
Like it's like gosh, what do what's the appropriate?
Yeah, of which that's mostly social anxiety, even not as introvert.
Because you're just like I know socially people talk and they say, but what am I supposed to say though? Like nipeni manual na talking points. Haya huyu ucheke for 5 seconds.
Let me ask you, do you prefer being that awkward, like now you won't say anything? Ama utaropokwa? Because now me, I'm the opposite.
Now me, but unajua, like now I can't answer that question fairly because I'm comfortable with the way I am now, so of course I'll favor that.
Right.
But I would like it to be it's because it's natural.
Yeah.
Or not even it's because, or to just accept it, because not everything needs changing. Like it's not like it's a horrible trait to have. Not everything as at now because I've discovered the reason. Okay, let's change.
Yeah,
it's not harming anyone. I'm not being harmed, so it's fine. As long as I'm able to communicate when I feel a certain way and I can communicate appropriately with adults. I'm good. Okay. So it's the accept. Now for me, that's one is the accepting, and also because. Imagine, I find like, on such things, I used to be earlier on, there's a time in my life I would have annoyed me. Dem anacheka na nguvu anaongea na nguvu ni nini? What are those you are saying? It's inappropriate. Like 18-year-old me, ungenichukia.
Yeah. It's those things for you're triggered by what you wish you were.
Exactly. Or
or what is in you that you can't release.
That you can't, it's because you can't.
Yeah.
There's a difference between you can't and it's like I'm comfortable.
Yeah.
And when you're comfortable with yourself, it's very easy to be comfortable with people who are not like you, because
absolutely
you do you, me I do me. We'll meet somewhere in the main room.
That's so interesting.
I feel like I've been talking for 3 hours.
I love it. I feel like you're getting in nicely. I love that. Oh my gosh. Because now when you said that, when I think about it, Mimi, my Nini was a rebellion. My outwardness.
So like everything is a reason, but you see it's not now. Should you change it now because it was a rebellion? Exactly. Like it's fine. The reason might not have been great. But it works out. And it's not harming anyone.
But sometimes I also find myself thinking like, kama nikiwa kwa nyumba, I'm always like, since I moved out, I'm way too quiet, babe. I prefer to be by myself. I prefer to not talk. I prefer to just chill on my phone all day. Hata kama niko na huko nje nikiwa job sitaki uniongele. So I've been feeling like my outwardness and my extrovertedness and that what you're saying, like it was like a way to cope with feeling
like boxed.
Right? Yeah. So now I'm just like, so who am I really? But now when you say like when you're a child, I feel like even me when I was a child, I was very evil. I was bubbly and very talkative and concerned. Actually, I was a very concerned child. I'm concerned about people. I'm obedient. I don't want to make people upset. I don't want to my brother to cry. Like I was just like that. So anyway, you've made me think like, wow.
Alafu pia, like you say, like you can be both those things. Like you don't have to choose.
That's true.
You can be exuberant today and tomorrow you can be like
don't talk to me.
And then every day I feel like you're a different person because you wake up in a different mood. Circumstances are different that day. Maybe the day requires you, the things you'll experience require you to be a different person. So we don't have to be like this stagnant thing. We are flexible. Like we are always moving. Like make me water. Genuinely, we are like water. Like every day you're someone different. Tomorrow you can talk to a group of 100 people. The other day hata mse mmoja hivi. God, I'm shy. Then there's other times like you're just feeling like we don't have to choose a personality. We can be a different person each day and just accept who you are. You don't have to choose anything.
I love that. Until you akili mtu wangu leo umebeba. Oh my god. Listen, na nywele uko nazo mingi. But I know on my bio on Twitter nimeandika I'm multifaceted. It's something I knew when I was young. Campo. Actually mtu aliniambia, Sly, you're so multifaceted. Like you're different in
many different situations.
Then lately I've been thinking, I feel like everyone is.
And I feel like that's healthy. Because you can't show up the same way. And then imagine the type of people you're interacting with. You might be interacting with someone who's more quiet. So naturally, you will adapt. And you'll be more quiet that day. Or maybe you will have to speak up more because that person is not going to speak.
You can't rely on them to speak up. I agree. I feel like it's actually a strength to tap into your multifacetedness.
I think it's a huge strength.
Because even when it comes to work, like you can imagine you seeing me working and then someone who's never seen me working being like, Sly kwangu umenyamaza hivyo. Sly kwangu, I'm like,
I'm sure if I saw you at work you'd be like,
you'd be like, what?
Kama unakuanga serious.
Exactly. So unapata it's a strength actually to tap into that. I agree. You don't have to change really your personality.
It's just once it's understanding it and accepting it. I feel like those are the most powerful tools. Because some of the things that we struggle with is what we've been told we are supposed to be versus what we are. And I feel like that's where radical acceptance comes in, because it's not really wrong to be either of those. It's just you do you, accept yourself, and from there I feel like everybody else will adapt.
Absolutely. And as long as you have good intentions, you're a good person, you're kind,
you're not imposing your things
on people. Absolutely. So it works. And your friendships are not like being affected negatively by it. Sometimes they will be.
But I think me personally, my opinion, my experience with that, like accepting yourself slowly by slowly, is even your friends, like you're more relaxed. Because
when you accept yourself.
Because also you're seeing someone, if you can understand that you yourself today you're in the mood, tomorrow you're not in the mood, blah 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 blah. You'll be able to understand that somebody else also
has those days.
And you'll be able to not think the first thought is like, okay, I guess fuck me.
Absolutely. I agree. In fact, that's the point of this podcast. Most times, if once you get comfortable with something in yourself, you're able to be comfortable with other people. It's very easy to be,
and the root, I feel, is the root of empathy.
Actually.
Because like if you cannot, if you can't do for yourself, please, what are you going outside to do for people?
And I think, guess what I'm about to
do to yourself, you do to other people.
Exactly. Oh, guess what I was about to say? That is what the Bible says. No, but really,
I genuinely am
same. Because literally that thing I learned recently, there's a reason why the biggest command is love, and the first thing you're told is love your neighbor as
you love yourself.
So the first command is really love yourself. So once in Anzanga, everything, I'm telling you, everything starts from there. When you start.
If you take a shot for every time we say, everything
starts with you. I'm telling you, so much changes around you when you change things in you.
And that's all you need to do. That's all you can do anyway. It's either that or now you're mad at everyone 24/7.
Absolutely. And everything. I feel like those are heavy things we think about. Do you think of other things? Me personally, I think about, what do I think about nowadays that's not heavy?
I think about hobbies. And I think new hobbies or like old hobbies that I left. I think about that a lot. Like maybe some games I used to play, or just finding something new and a fun adult activity to do. Not adult activity, but
not that adult.
Not that, but just like something playful. Adult, you want to balance again, moderation. You don't want to be like serious all the time. Or like it's either you're serious or you're drinking, or you're working or you're drinking. Like
there's no in between.
There's no thing.
Like what makes that's yours.
Or even just
I think you like doing.
Make yourself a little interesting.
Even me, I've been thinking like, what do I like, babe?
Sijui tucheze kati.
What do I like? Because I really gym nimekuwa very shifty nayo this year. It's been very difficult to be consistent for me. It's been difficult. Me hata sijui nasema kwanza this month nimewaste your subscription, na last month I've gone like 2 times. But I feel like I had put it like as a hobby, like as a
a fun thing.
You see how you're told if you want to get a hobby, you choose 3 things. Like a hobby is due to make you money, a hobby to get you fit, and a hobby to just keep you creative. So for me, I'll do TikTok as like my hobby to keep me creative, and then a gym to keep active, and then
money. But we are still we are thinking about it.
I need to think about that. Someone used to be here for me, people's hair, but right now I'm just thinking I need something that is not either actually. Either of those.
And me even kwanza I'm a believer on like your hobbies don't have to make you money. I feel like they're for like keeping you fun and young and just playful
childlike.
Especially because things are getting way too serious. It's key. Because
but how often we start knitting.
I actually thought of knitting. I'm not even joking.
I feel like it's something I've considered as well. I don't know. Mimi naitanga mukuha pia.
Needles.
Like knitting needle.
We shall check.
But also but even that I've been thinking about like other co-curricular activities I can engage
in. Like to fun things to do.
That are not drink oriented. Although I like to drink so.
I mean it's again moderation. It can't be all you do. Like
sometimes I I envy my 21-year-old self that will just drink without giving a damn. Like, babe.
And tomorrow you wake up and you bounce.
And I drink again. What I saying? No, but really, saying a feeling, I'm just like, I need to do what, you know.
Like in the back of your mind, there's still
a lot
you're thinking about.
Yeah.
So when you're 21, you're not neglecting anything. You're just
when you're
21, you're just
the best days of my life for real. Anyway, but yeah, that's hobbies have been on my mind as well.
Yeah, I used to love swimming. I don't know why I still do. I don't know why I don't do it.
You don't swim, but then
but like tukienda veke, nita swim every day. Kutoka morning kama breakfast, lunch and supper. Naeza lala hata hapo ndani.
Unaingia kwa maji asubuhi.
Wekeni watabet.
Yeah, I feel like with the weather those things are unpredictable. Mtu anashinda. Hata mimi nilikuwa nimesema I'll be swimming more because hata gym subscription yetu iko inclusive of swimming. Nimeenda swimming.
Not nearly one time.
Just once and it was raining like it was time.
Yeah, pia itiki hizo job, hizo kazi.
But I feel like we are thinking progressively then.
It's good always to be healthy internally because anything can happen to you. But like if you build resilience from inside, because that's my goal. If I build my resilience from inside and my stability of my core values and my core, like the things about me that are immutable, the other things can change on top, but kuna zenye lazima zikuwe. Then and my firm boundaries, nini, and then I feel like it won't be easy, but I'll be better equipped to handle challenges as opposed to zikinigonga too out of.
Absolutely. I think even that's the whole point of staying inside yourself, because things will break you or attempt to or whatever, but ukiwa me by the oh my god, I take so much. You are inside yourself. Like you're not so easy to lose yourself. You know that people
that's it. Not easy to lose yourself.
Yeah, and I feel like I have had that fear in the recent past, but that's another thing I've been thinking about. Like you see, me, I'm those babes who, when I get into a relationship, that's my life. That's my bread and butter. That's everything
Sayonara,
I'm thinking
about. I'll see you in 6 months.
Exactly. That's usually me. I get so carried away. So nakumbuka, especially because my previous one year, I literally got pregnant and I didn't want, and I found myself in a situation, you know. So I had very solid plans for my future. Yeah. But it took one car, you know.
Things.
Wink. Nishaingia word anyway. So right now I'm really so focused on not losing myself within this relationship. Yeah. I actually see myself. Actually, it took me a minute like to realize that nilijambia bede narudi shimo kwa zile shimo za before, yeah. So I need to go back to that thing I found in myself when I was exiting that situation that helped me ground myself in who I am. Yeah. So like you're sticking to your goals, knowing you have boundaries, knowing you have like family and friends. Like your life is all encompassing. It's not just this
one person.
Yeah. So it's been a challenge actually. Hiyo tu kukua zile za, you know what, I want to spend every day of my life with this person, but I have a podcast, I have a child, I have work, I'm back to school, I have friends, I have friends, I have things I'm doing, so
things that were there existing before
that I actually enjoy.
Obviously there'll be some adjustment, but
definitely
not abandoning them.
And that's something that I feel like fikia kama singekuwa grounded in myself, in knowing that if this man leaves, I'm only left with myself. I don't want to be left with a shell of myself. Exactly. I want to be left with my life still moving. Yeah. In a way that it does not break me completely. And leave me going back to my mother's house. Yeah. So
and even when you're dating someone, eventually you're still individuals within it. And not even I don't even want to look at it from a point of guy na kiniacha. But even more of even you, what kind of person would you be attracted to? Ana form.
Exactly.
Kila time.
Ana life.
Tunafanya nini this weekend?
Exactly.
Tunafanya.
That's a very good point.
It's so boring. Like
think something if you had a dude who was like that. Bro, you cheat tomorrow. Anyway, I'm sorry. No, but it's really not nice. It's not cool. It's not cute to just be...
like being an individual. You fell in love with the individual. Like remain that individual. Even as you're joining some things, it's still good to have a bit of your own stuff, of your own self. Although I feel like women really, most women abandon themselves.
Truly.
Because it's like, nimefika sasa. Think of those babes who are like, oh, I'm married now, so...
Yeah. So, bye. We'll not be hanging out.
Yeah, we can't be hanging out.
And then saizo zinaenda kuteso huko, you have no one to call because you don't have a community.
Yeah, so you left them because they're not married.
Yeah.
Because it's a status thing.
Oh, no. I actually, if there's one thing you'll have as a takeaway from this episode, ground yourself in yourself.
Yeah.
Be a full entity.
Yeah.
Minus everybody else.
Yeah.
And uweze tu go back, you know, like
on your own.
Yeah. And also unaona hivyo venye unasema mambo ya personality, like the way you're thinking like who am I or who do I want to be, or who have I been or whatever.
Yeah.
It's very difficult for someone to come and tell you wesh unakuanga sijui, you know, something you're not.
Yeah. Like that's the funny thing.
Yeah.
Unajiuliza who am I?
No, like mtu akuje like anaku accused of being something you're not.
Yeah.
I feel like most times when you don't know who you are, it's so easy for people to just
to decide for you
and you to be in doubt of who you are. Yeah. So mtu anakuja na kama Sly unakuanga so heartless, ama Sly unakuanga mjinga, ama ufikiriangi kabla uongee ama nini. I'll be like, I mean, not really. I know that's
but what makes you say that?
Yeah, what makes you say that? You're more...
I understand what you mean.
You're like...
Because like, sometimes you think, who am I don't know, until someone tells you something like that, and then you're like, actually, no, I'm
not like that.
And I know that for a fact.
Yeah.
But, of course, I would love to know what
but you don't have to... You can imagine if it's social media, for example.
No, not randos.
No, but you see...
And I mean, like, if it's you, you said, oh my God, Vesha, so...
Na squeeze unakuanga.
Niko like, ay, kwa nini?
For short, I mean...
Not a rando.
Yeah. No, but I mean randos.
Randos, please.
You can imagine, like, you're a social media person online, you're really keyboard warrioring, and then... mtu anakuambia tu kitu hivi, you're breaking, kama ule madam. I'll have to give this example. There's a tweep. I'll not mention her handle, but she owns a barber shop. I know you've seen that babe online. She owns a barber shop, and she's so, you know, she's abrasive and she talks to people, she bullies people, she tukanas babes all the time. The one time to ameitwa ho ama amefanya ameambiwa sijui nini. She came online crying. You know what? If you're an asshole, just be an asshole. Like, just...
With your chest.
Yeah, with your chest. And just own it. Like, if you're trashing people because you feel for real they ain't shit, trash them. But anyway, it's a need to think. There are people who really don't know who they are.
You believe everything someone tells you. If I call you a hoe, then it must be true.
Exactly. Now I'll just be online being like, no, but you know, I'm not a hoe. But
defending my non-honest.
Exactly. No, it's very important to know who you are. Yeah. Before anyone decides for you who you are, know who you are and think about your life. I love that.
A word.
You know what?
We are
done with that episode, but yeah, subscribe and then look out for more content like this, because we talk about such things a lot, and there's a lot more where that comes from. Yeah.
Thanks for joining us. Bye.